So SCS has recently released this amazing truck, the Renault Range T. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. How the heck do you fix those terrible vacuum cleaner engine sounds? Stay tuned. Hey guys, Clumsy here, and in this video I'll be sharing some of the mods that have come out already, even if this truck has been out only for a couple of days. So we had some fun with this truck on the last Clumsy trucking stream, and if you want to watch that, check out the upper right corner of your screen. There should be a card popping up right now. We test drove it for 3 hours, checked the different configs, and one thing was clear. The sounds were pretty bad, unfortunately. The model itself, exterior, as you can see, it looks amazingly beautiful. But the sounds, they leave a lot to be desired. So let's focus on that as our numero uno priority. I think it would only be fair to give the default sounds a fighting chance. So let's go and hear it, right? We have default sounds here, no sound fixes, no other sound mods for this truck. That actually doesn't sound so bad, right? So far so good. Blinker sounds. From what I hear, you guys tell me that's pretty accurate. The indicators, the switches, they're all default sounds from the other trucks. Including the horn, I think. The horror starts when you start moving. And I think you might want to cover your ears soon. I'm not sure about you guys, but that sounds like a vacuum cleaner to me. Not very matching with how beautiful the truck is looking like, right? Alright, we gave it a chance, but yeah, that's how it is. So, how do we fix it? Unfortunately for now, you can only fix it if you have mods enabled. So for our vanilla friends, really sorry. Unless SCS decides to fix that, which I highly doubt. Anyway, so if we go to our mods here, we have two possible options at the moment as of this recording. We have option number 1, this one, abasstreppas' interior engine sound edit. This is free. Or option 2, EVR sounds. If you have the VOLVO FH4 D13K 460 sounds from EVR, he released an update for it, which makes it compatible with the Range T. And we'll go through that in more detail, but for now, let's go and check out how this one sounds like. Let me put that here. I'll catch you guys inside the truck. As of this recording, abasstreppas' interior engine sound edit is version 1.1. That may change depending on when you watch this video and when you decide to check it out. But for now, 1.1, this is how it sounds like. So far, everything sounds the same. And I think the main changes will be just the actual loaded engine sounds. So let's go ahead and test drive it. Well, that definitely sounds different. Very bassy. It is quite different from version 1.0 of the abasstreppas' version, and some people actually complain about it, that in 1.1 it's too bassy now. But Abbas gave a link to a real video of a driver using this truck, and they say it's actually very similar to this one. It really is very bassy. So, up to you to decide if you like it. In my opinion, those sound much better than the default SCS sounds. So if you're looking for a free mod that's available now, go and check that out. Links are always in the video description. But we have one more option to check out. We have EVR sounds. So let's go ahead, disable Abasis sounds and enable EVRs. Now the icon might be a bit confusing. You're seeing a Volvo FH here, but you're seeing that's for a range T. That's because this is originally a Volvo FH4 D13K 460 engine sound, but EVR retrofitted it for the range T. And I think that makes sense realistically because Renault's, as far as I'm aware, as far as you guys told me, they use Volvo engines anyway. So this is pretty close, if not really super accurate. Oh, and one quick note. If you decide to enable EVR sounds, you might notice that if you go into the truck config, you don't really see any of the EVR logos. If you're familiar with his mods, usually his engines are clearly marked with the EVR logo. But because this one is basically a retrofit, it's a temporary workaround while he's still working on the actual Renault Range T sounds, you won't see any logos here. But the way for you to confirm that it is working is if you go and try and filter, you'll see that it does recognize that the SFX FH4 mod for the Range T, and if you untick it, all the engines disappear. So that does work, and we will definitely be able to hear and distinguish it anyway. So let's go and check it out. Alright, time for EVR sounds. Let's go ahead and start the engine. That's definitely different. Switches are all EVRified. Is that a verb? But the blinker indicators, from what I've read in his Facebook page, are gotten from the SCS default in the meantime, while he's still working on the actual Renault T sounds from his side. Even the parking brake sounds, EVR. Let's hear it. Not sure about you guys, but this one definitely takes the cake for me. Goodness, that sounds so natural. If you're wearing headphones, you can even hear the turbo whine in the background. That is beautiful. Now if it really sounds like a Renault Range T, you guys be the judge of it. You let me know in the comments, okay? But for me, this sounds as realistic as it can get. I actually made some early access exclusive content for my patrons and Twitch subscribers. And I recorded these 3 different versions and asked them to chime in which they preferred, and around 9 out of 10 of them voted EVR. So yeah, I'm going with that, and I definitely agree. EVR sounds are way superior. They're paid, but they're more than worth it. But anyway, if you want to join that community, be a Patreon or be a Twitch subscriber, check out the links in the video description for options and more details, okay? Links should be there. Anyway, next up, for more amazing Renault T goodness, we have the Renault T Realistic Dashboard Computer from Oscar. You might have seen this already, but yeah, we will check it out again. Yeah, we've shown this on the stream. Anyway, let's go and enable that. And one quick tip for you guys, whenever you enable a realistic dashboard like this, make sure, especially if you have EVR sounds, make sure you put the dashboard mod above EVRs like this one. Because sometimes for certain mods like the MP4 and MP3, like this one, if you put the dashboard below like that, it will not work. You will have a mod conflict and your dashboard will be black. So put that above. Put the dashboard above EVRs, okay? To be on the safe side. Anyway, we'll check it out how this dashboard looks like. So this is how the default dashboard looks like whenever you start the engine, you get that Renault logo, and you get a couple of different options in here. It's actually quite nice already, even with the default. Yeah, so many options in here, and you can even turn it off. And if you're driving from afar like this, you should still be able to see them, although the font is not the biggest. Yeah, and especially if you don't have maxed out settings, you might have trouble seeing them. In comparison, if you have Oscar's realistic dashboard enabled, you'll still see the logo, but now you'll see it's much more complicated. 2 screens. And if you browse through the different options, here's so many. I don't even know most of what these do, but the more details the better, right? That does look very realistic. Comes with that fuel level and cruise window as well. And you don't have that black screen anymore. So if you like it, that can work for you. Although I think as a side effect, if you zoom out like this, the normal view, it will be even more, the text will be even smaller. So that might not be something you want. So try it out. But for me, I think I'll keep it because it does look very realistic. Next up, we have Gloover's light improvements and lowered chassis. One thing to note with the lowered chassis, this is not a low deck chassis, because we have a different mod later which features low deck versions. This is a low chassis which basically literally lowers down all the default chassis options for the Renault Range T. You know what, actually let's have a look at that. I'll enable it and let's see the before and after. Okay, I'll show before first, and then I'll switch to how it looks after, so we can see really head to head how lowered it is. Okay, so etch that into your memory. This is without the lowered chassis mod. Oh yeah, that definitely is lowered. Does it apply for all the other chassis? Yes, it does. That actually looks pretty sleek, huh? I guess it will be a bit more challenging when you go off-roading, but otherwise, man, I like that. Let's go and check out the light improvements as well. So in terms of light improvements from Gloover, if you enable that mod, and let's try to narrow that down to the actual parts that have been modified, we'll see that there are actually new roof bars in here. You can only go with only slots, go with a black, painted, or silver roof bar. There are options for sun visors as well. Bigger is better. Some of them are actually conflicting with the front mirror here though. There are bull bar options, lower grille guards, something even gotten from the FH4. The VOLVO actually looks very nice. I love it. It looks amazing. Wow. And there's also side skirt bars like this one. Is there something for the FH similarly? Oh yeah, I think I like that. Figure something out. At the back here, I'm not sure what changed. I think this is more for compatibility with the next mod that we will be checking out. But yeah, those really add a lot of flair, sometimes literally, to your truck. If you're looking for a more pimped out truck, not as basic as the one we had originally, this might be the mod for you. I'll go and try out some of the combinations and I'll be back. Let's take a look at how it ends up. And that is how it looks like now. Wow. That actually looks more pimped out than before, huh? I like it. If you're craving for a more fancy look, then this mod would definitely be for you. Nice. But if you're craving for the real deal, the real low deck chassis, then good news is Sogard 3 has released a compatible version, a low deck add-on specifically for the Renault Range T. He works so fast, my goodness, that man. Amazing. So let's go and check it out and see how low we can go. So I've removed Groover's lower chassis in the meantime. So we are back to our default raised chassis for the normal variants, so that we can easily distinguish how low we go when we switch to a low deck chassis that is provided by Sogard 3. That's how much we lower down. Yeah, significant amount. There's also a big fuel tank option for the low deck. I think I'm going to choose this one though. This is the more common setup if you have a low deck. Now with having a low deck config like this, it entails a couple of different requirements. But the good thing is most of those requirements are provided by the mod. So if you go to the low deck add-on right here, you'll see the white dots. Those have parts from this mod specifically. Which you see there are front fender bottom specific to low deck. You see the LD at the end, and if you click that, you'll see that the trim here disappears like so. So you're not smudging on the ground. You're not too low on the ground. There is such a thing as too low apparently. And they don't have full side skirts because normal low decks don't have that option. Yeah, that looks good. And we also have different rear fender tops like this, a flattened version so that the bigger trailer can fit in and won't be hitting the fender. And the most important thing is that we have a raised spoiler like so. Yeah. Now the missing ingredient here, which I think is not part of the mod, yeah, it's not part of the low deck, is I believe you also need a smaller tire. So right now we are using 315/70 tires. Yeah, it should be 295/60 if I remember correctly, 295 something. And these tires are only made available by the Real Tires mod. I think that is by Galimim. It's available in the Steam Workshop. It should also be in the mods list. So check out the link in the video description. But we're going with K-Max S for now. So let's see how significantly smaller those are. Yes. And once you've done that, Fuel Max, did I choose Fuel Max? I think so. Once you've chosen that, then you have a full-blown low deck setup. Now, I think I will actually disable that thing right there at the bottom. The one that we added due to light improvements, because I think that might cause us to go too low actually. That might be too much. So let's go with that. And now if we look at the trailer, so in terms of trailer, you also need a specialized trailer. The normal size trailer won't do. And one recommendation is using this one, the Krone Megaliner by Sogard 3 as well. So it's like a combo. So if you look at the height here, that's perfect. It doesn't hit the fender there. And the spoiler, how it's raised, is just perfectly aligned with how high the trailer is. Yeah, otherwise you would not get a matching thing. So that is the perfect combo right there. Yes, looks very, very sleek. I love driving low decks. They're very economical and perfect for driving on highways. Not so good on off-road stuff though. Man, look at that. Beautiful. And yes, one more thing. So as I was configuring this last stream, I noticed that if you were using the high sleeper cab and you tried putting a spoiler in, then you would have no problem and it would look very cool. But if you tried using this and doing this, the same thing for the smaller cab, the sleeper variant, and try doing the same thing, you can get the side deflectors fine, but there is no spoiler, which is very interesting, very weird. It seems wrong. And I think it really is. I think it's been acknowledged by SCS. And I think they're going to fix that in the next patch. But I'm not sure. If you're watching this and that's still there, that issue is still there, there is an option. BrianK released a mod to fix that spoiler. And just enable it. And as you get into the truck config screen and pick that sleeper cab, it should actually automatically be there already. If it's not, no problem, just go into the config settings and that dot should be existing now. So you can enable your side deflectors and now the spoiler should also be there. Now that looks much better, doesn't it? Amazing stuff. Alright guys, so those are the mods that I have for you. Hope you like them. Hope you will try some of them out. And if you have some on your list that's not here, let me know. Comment them down below in the comment section. And please don't forget, hit the thumbs up, hit the like button, subscribe, comment, and share with your friends, alright? In the meantime, I am finally going to go trucking. So I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Clumsy trucking, everybody. Have a nice day. Catch you on the road.